yesterday, what happened on the Hill? Not much, huh?
No, the House Republicans try to do this piecemeal deal where they just divide up each part of the federal government. And yesterday they chose 3 really popular issues.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Federal parks, vets affairs, and then D.C. The funny thing about D.C. is that, they're self-sustaining. They have their own budget. This is just freeing them up to use their own money. And there was some laughter on the floor yesterday when Republicans were saying, we want to pass this because we care about D.C.
Oh, yeah,
and,
right.
And for folks who have lived in the district for a long time, that it's, truthfully, it's Republicans that are blocking them from becoming a state or having their own
a vote.
Yeah, their own vote or even controlling their own budget. But, that didn't stop Eleanor
Holmes Norton.
She gave a great speech.
She went ballistic yesterday.
She completely bucked the Democratic leadership. I mean, she wants her own she wants her own autonomy. And, she went against them on this issue.
So they tried, but they sort of got outsmarted themselves, in a sense, yesterday, because they pushed this through in a way that would require a 3/4 vote, right? And they could not get 3/4 vote.
Right. It was a suspension vote. They wanted to clear the rules, so they had to get 3/4. It wasn't like a normal majority vote.
Yeah.
And they had nowhere near the votes. I mean, they got 33, 34 votes per vote, but they needed like 60 or 70, and they weren't even close
and
to
the president pointed out, the president said, the White House yesterday said that if they try this piecemeal thing, the president's going to veto any piecemeal thing.
They would have vetoed. He would have vetoed it. The Senate Democrats wouldn't have taken it up. And I think Harry Reid today is going to continue to say that they're not going to accept anything except for a clean CR. And the Democrat and the president said the exact same thing. Now, I mean, this is kind of worrisome because it looks like the House Republicans are going to continue with this strategy. They're going to continue for the next however many days to say we're going to break up the federal government into little pieces. And at the end of it, they're banking on the fact that, look, the Democrats are the ones that are keeping this shut down.
Yeah, well, that may be their strategy.
Yeah.
And we have seen their demands, rather than escalating, have actually been diminishing. I mean, because they started, we want to kill Obamacare. All right, can't do that. All right, we'll defund it. Okay, we can't do that. We'll delay it for a year. We can't do that. Well, we'll delay the individual mandate for a year. No, we can't do that. Well, we'll get rid of this medical device tax. No, well, we can't do that. Now we'll have a conference committee. Oh, they won't do that. All right, now we'll reopen the national parks. Oh, well, we can't. You know what? So they keep trying everything, and all of them are non-starters, right?
They're all non-starters. Nothing's going to happen. Nothing's going to work.
Tell us about this. So the conference committee.
Right.
6 months ago, the Senate passes a budget.
Yeah.
The House passes its Paul Ryan budget. And what you do then, is go to a conference committee.
Right.
Harry Reid appointed his conference members. Mm-hmm. Nancy Pelosi appointed the Democrats from the House. For 6 months, John Boehner has refused to. The reason there hasn't been any resolution of this budget before is he refused to appoint his members of the conference committee. So the conference committee could not meet. Suddenly, yesterday, bingo, he appoints the conference committee members.
Yeah, and,
right?
they're in a conference room with no one on the other side except for cameras. It was a nice photo op. Yeah. But everyone's surprised that this snuck up on us, that this was the shutdown. I mean, I think after the sequester, I don't think anyone should have been surprised that this could have happened, and it did.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
No, and given the people we're dealing with, I don't think we should have been surprised. But the thing I found funny about the photo op is they thought this made them look good. Mm-hmm. And then you had, 6 or 7 all white males sitting at this table, right? Sort of didn't make the Republican Party look
the
like
optics, the optics aren't really there. No. But, I think, though, what this whole thing shows you is that the real test is going to be, Jack Lew yesterday said the debt ceiling is up in like 2 weeks. And so if the government shutdown lasts for another 2 weeks, then now you have the debt ceiling in as a playing card.
Which makes it even worse.
And so then you might have a situation where Harry Reid says, we're not going to pass a federal budget without raising the debt ceiling. But then that goes against his entire premise this entire time, that we need a clean CR.
Well, I wanted to get there next with you because, first of all, is there any one of the reporters I was talking with yesterday at the White House said that the problem that he sees is the Republicans keep digging in their heels, but they do not have an exit strategy.
No, I don't think you see that. I mean, they still have their own internal battle coming. I think Politico had a really good report yesterday about how, I think Harry Reid's office leaked some emails from the speaker. And the speaker's office has been trying behind the scenes to work with the Democrats. And it kind of shows you that, Speaker Boehner is on a different playing field than some members of his own caucus. And some of those conservative members and the leadership are butting heads. And I don't think he has a strategy because I don't think the caucus is united. I mean, they do come off as united, to be fair. They come off as united in their votes, but...
Yeah, right. But we know there's a lot. And Peter King has been very outspoken.
And so is John McCain, yeah.
He's trying to round up votes in the House. John McCain and others, Bob Corker and others in the Senate. Mm-hmm. The Senate's pretty clear. I mean, that most of them, other than Ted Cruz,
right,
are disgusted with the shenanigans in the House. But with that division inside the Republican Party, makes it all the more likely that, as Paul Ryan suggested yesterday, this could drag on till October 17. Right?
I think it's very likely that it will.
Good Lord.
So, I mean, our friends and everyone who in this city is affected by it, who's furloughed, yeah, they may have thought it was kind of funny yesterday. They may have gone out. But, after a while, they're not getting paid.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of young people.
It's not going to be funny a week from now or 2 weeks from now when they would be getting their paycheck, and they don't.
I'm just saying there's a lot of young people in this town who thought that public service was honorable, and so they went there, and they don't get paid a lot of money. And obviously, if they're not getting paid here, that's huge for them. And it's really unfortunate that they're being dragged into this political debate.
What was it? Huffington Post has it today. 800. So there are 800,000 federal employees, not all furloughed, not all here in the nation's capital, but a good percentage of them. Excuse me for just 1 second. I know I'm off the microphone. Oh, Huffington Post took that down. But that 800,000 is if you furloughed everybody, as I recall now, Peter, help me out, from who worked for Target, GM, Exxon, and Google.
Wow.
Those 4 corporations, if you fired everybody or furloughed, everybody who worked for them, that would be the equivalent of the 800,000. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's a lot of real people not getting paid and not.
There are, but sometimes though you have to see that in terms of the bad politics. I mean, the White House yesterday did a stunt that I didn't think was smart. I mean, they shut down their Instagram account to say, we don't have enough staff to maintain this, while they were still tweeting nonstop and were posting photos of the president and everything. So that, they were trying to reach young people. But, sometimes politics plays a little both ways, just to put that out there. But, it's the major issue is about these furloughed employees and about a member from Maryland yesterday gave a really impassioned speech about Barbara Mikulski, about how the National Institutes of Health and others are based in Maryland, and they're shut down and they're not researching, and inspections for food is not a lot. A lot of it's not.
It's not just with NIH, as we stated earlier. Not just that they're not doing their research. Mm-hmm. Every week for the shutdown, NIH reported yesterday there are 10 kids with cancer who will not be able to go to clinical trials. Every week, 200 patients will be turned away by NIH, most of them dealing with cancer, and 30% of them, 30 kids among those 200.
Yeah, so 3/4 of the staff at NIH furloughed.
Right.